The original Aladdin happens to be one of my favorite new classics. And to be fair about it, out of all the live action remakes, the Aladdin one is my favorite. All the others just do not compare in quality. Will Smith's was the main reason that that movie did well. The 1989 Little Mermaid is an amazing classic that should never have been touched. Of course, you had Robin Hood, which was another great movie. But of course, my all time favorite out of any of the Disney films is The Jungle Book, the original. That was just such a priceless classic to me. But with all that said, what would Walt be doing right now? With all the losses that Disney has taken in the past few years, this company is bleeding money between its films, losing money, its Disney Plus streaming app, bleeding money, all the lawsuits taking place, all the work that he did to build up Florida now being destroyed. What would be the reason for any of all this, and what would Walt say about it? My question to all of you beyond besides that is it possible that Disney, the current management, could be deliberately setting Disney up for a bankruptcy? When you consider the things that I have just mentioned, it is quite possible that maybe they're in more trouble than people would like to think, and that a bankruptcy may be the only way to get them out of the trouble they're in. Just look at some of the articles about the films that have been out lately. The Little Mermaid declared a massive flop for Disney by box office analysts. Peter Pan and Wendy modernized the Disney tale, but lost its magic. How about this one? New report claims Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania lost Marvel 125 million. DeSantis board sues Disney in latest tug of war in Florida. And yes, of course, what started that was protests. Disney CEO speaks out against Florida's Don't Say Gay bill, injecting themselves into local politics. Disney Plus sheds 4 million subscribers in seasonal second straight quarterly drop. Streaming losses narrow by 26%, but still they lost 4 million subscribers. Walt Disney World loses control of its own district thanks to new Florida bill. Former Disney CEO Bob Chapek, along with Karine Daniel and Christine McCarthy, named in class action lawsuit over Disney Plus. Disney sues Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, allegedly political effort to hurt its business. Now, to help support my theory about a possible Disney bankruptcy, I have an article here from Pirate and Princesses. Disney and Comcast are going to arbitration over Hulu deal. Disney has been controlling Hulu and announcing plans to do an app combining service with Disney Plus. Walt Disney Company CEO Bob Iger has all but confirmed the buyout of Hulu. However, it seems that Disney doesn't want to pay the asking price Comcast has set, and Comcast has stopped funding the streaming service. Now the issue is entering arbitration. According to the Wrap, Disney and Comcast prices are tens of billions of dollars apart for the valuation of Hulu. Disney claims that the Comcast stakes in Hulu is only worth 8.7 billion, while Comcast claims that the valuation is closer to 27.5 billion dollars. When the deal was made in May of 2019, Disney was to buy out Comcast's stake in Hulu at a minimum of $5.8 billion, with a valuation of Hulu set at the floor of $27.5 billion. NBC Universal would have to keep its content on Hulu through the end of 24. Disney could also require Comcast to buy their shares. But given that Iger has announced plans for Hulu as part of an app, they likely are keeping Hulu. Comcast CEO Bob Roberts feels that the valuation should be set at the rate Disney would list the service if they wanted to sell it to any other major media company. Then give Comcast 1/3 of the value. Well, Comcast already owns 1/3, but they want to Disney to sell it for what they think it's worth. It doesn't seem that Brian Roberts feels Bob Iger is doing that. If the floor variation can go to no lower than 27.5 billion, it puts the Comcast 33% owns at a base rate of 8.3 billion. The question is whether or not the streamer is worth far more. It is doubtful Comcast shares would be 27.5 billion. And that's part of where the problem lies here. Got Comcast and Disney, both rivals fighting for control here of Hulu, and Hulu, or rather Comcast, wants to give up their rights, and Disney has no way of fighting it except for arguing the price that they have to pay for how much Hulu is worth. But what is Hulu worth? That is the question. And that plays into a part of the graph I showed you earlier regarding how much cash that Disney has on hand. They have not even $11 billion in ready cash reserves. And if Hulu, or rather Comcast, if they have to buy the 27.5 billion valuation, Disney's out of cash. They're broke. They would have to start selling off assets. And even if they do get Comcast to accept the 8.5, they still only have less than $2 billion, which means they're still in serious trouble. Another problem that Disney has is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, which was rumored to have a budget of around $150 million, but because of delays, reshoots, and editing, it has gone over by about another $150 million, which puts this film in a dangerous place, and the chances of Disney making their money back from this film is very slim when you consider that they released it for a preview at the Cannes Film Festival in Paris, and it got very bad reviews. When you consider all the controversy surrounding Disney right now, not only with labor issues, with the streaming platform, with the parks, and now with the film and television, Disney is in a world of hurt. And with Hulu coming up as a big problem now, Disney is more in trouble when it comes to its finances. So I believe that this may be an avenue for them to pursue. Could they be possibly deliberately driving their company into bankruptcy because they're running out of cash and all their investments are not turning out the way they want them to? So the logic is to continue to produce garbage, promote political agendas that they know are upsetting people, but it may be their only way. File bankruptcy, restructure, and return to profitability. Well, just a thought of mine, and I just would like to know your thoughts and comments on this. So give me your thoughts, your comments, and if you like the video, please click that like button. And more so, if you like it, please click that subscribe button. That would be greatly appreciated, my friends. Until the next time, God bless.